This is basic pilot stuff. This is stuff you need to know to go flying, stuff that you need to know for your written exam. You know, there will be METARs and TAFs on your written exam. That's 100% guarantee. Okay, so this is important that you get this stuff. So remember that a METAR is a weather report. So somebody observes this weather, or the auto station observes the weather. That's actual weather. A forecast is a prediction, right? It's what is expected to happen over the course of several hours. And you need to know a lot about how to interpret a TAF and a METAR and kind of how they fit together. But, you know, generally they're going to come out in concert with each other. Within the TAF, when we're forecasting the weather, of course, the weather can change over an extended period of time, right? So we try to indicate the permanence and the speed at which things are going to change by these descriptions. So a from, a becoming, a tempo or temporary change, or a probability, right? Those are all the different weather change groups or descriptions of how things are going to happen. So the one that you see very often is from, or FM, abbreviated from. And I've given an example here, but this essentially indicates it's a, you know, I laugh at the word permanent when we're talking about weather, but I guess for this purpose, they're talking about a, you know, relatively stable permanent change in weather conditions. And it's always followed by a date and time in Zulu. So, you know, here it is here. From, and then 21st day of the month, 0200 Zulu. And then we've got this weather description, right? 280 degrees true at 15 knots with gusts of 25 knots. Visibility greater than 6 statute miles. So that the P6, the P indicates greater than 6 statute miles. A lot of people think of it as plus, greater than 6 statute miles. We already talked about why it's 6 miles and not like something that makes more sense. So I won't belabor that. And broken clouds, 2,500 feet above the ground. Meaning, after the 21st day of the month at 02 Zulu, these are the conditions that are forecast. Okay? And that's the from descriptor. Now, becoming just means that the change is going to be gradual. The thing about when you see a becoming is you get a whole gaggle of numbers, right? You get all of this here, date and time stamps. But essentially what it's saying is becoming between 2200 Zulu on the 21st to 2400 Zulu on the 21st. Wind is going to be 270 at 8 knots. The only thing that's going to change, according to this, is the wind, meaning that anything that was in the forecast before remains, and that'll become important. We'll look at that in a little bit. So becoming is the slow burn, right? They give you the length of time it's going to take for the wind to shift to 270 degrees true at 8 knots. Tempo is the one that seems to mess everybody up. Everybody gets that it's temporary, but the definition of temporary is where a lot of people get burned. So when you see this tempo description, you're going to get a date and a time group, okay? Temporary between this time and this time. But what it indicates is a temporary change in weather conditions, and each time it happens, those conditions are going to last for less than an hour. So another way to think about tempo is it's going to come and go, right? It's not going to be permanent. So this one here, tempo 2100 to 2102. So from midnight to 0200 in the morning, Zulu time, on the 21st. 5 statute miles, light rain showers, mist, overcast 2,000 feet. So that's a 2-hour period. And in that 2-hour period, these conditions can happen multiple times, but each time is less than an hour. Okay? PROB. They only forecast probability for things like thunderstorms, freezing precipitation, low-level wind shear at or below 1,500 feet AGL, or very low ceilings and visibility. This is prime exam stuff, okay? So here we have prob 30% probability between 20 and 22 Zulu, so 2-hour period on the 28th, of 1/2 statute mile in snow with vertical visibility of 500 feet, right? Because we always just add 2 zeros on the end. So that's a probability. So somebody once asked, what if it became a 50% probability? What would we say? 50-50. It would become a tempo, right? That would rise to tempo.